So unit 6, you begin to talk about exponential functions. Very important, but sometimes kids get confused. There are rules, power of power rules, what to do with the exponents when you add like bases, things of this nature. So we want to make sure that we know those rules, and your teacher will help you with that. But if you're taking a test and you're not sure if you're remembering the rules correctly, let's show you how Desmos can help you. So this is to the third power. And notice I don't see that. I know the squared button, but this button here will let you put any power in that you want to, and it'll evaluate for you. Now, of course, we don't want just that. We need all of that in parentheses. And then we need to take that to the power of 5. We get a huge number here in scientific notation. We don't need to know what that number is, but I can now systematically go through the other choices. And when I see that they're the exact same number, I remember that, oh, power of a power rule means I multiply 3 times 5 to get 15. If you would have put another choice in there, let's say the last choice, 4 to the 8th, notice it just wouldn't be the same number. So you can plug these in, and even if the numbers are gross, as long as they match, you know you've got the right one. Let's look at another one here. 7 to the 1/3 power. So 7 raised to the 1/3 power gives you this decimal. Let's systematically go through and see which one of those matches. So we'll do square root of 7 times 3, not the same. Now this is a cube root. Where are those in Desmos? There's the square root button. Well, you have to go to functions and scroll way down to the bottom. And here, the option comes up, but I put it in the wrong spot. I need to open another tab. Functions to the nth ring. So right now it's telling you what root do you want to put in there. We'll put in 3, and then I can click and put the 7 inside. And there I realize that a fraction is the same as the index to a root, because the decimals match each other, and choice B would be the way to go. Again, this is just function notation. F's rule is 2 to x's power. What do I want x to be? -4. So 2 raised to the -4th power. I don't see any decimals. Remember, just click that button and we'll get 1/16. Which point is on the graph? So the first thing I'm going to do is graph this function. 3 times 4 raised to the x power. And I get a nice exponential graph here. Now I can, on another tab, systematically just start putting these points in as we did earlier with the lines. I can do the exact same thing with an exponential function. And I don't see, yep, there it is. See, 0, 12 is not on the graph. If I plug in 0, 0, it's over here, not on the blue graph. So we'll go to the next choice, 1, 12. Notice how that is exactly on the blue graph. I know C is the choice because 112 is on there. That should make sense, because 4 to the first power is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. That should just make sense, plugging in 1 for x, and you get 12 for y, or f of x. But no problem checking it with Desmos. Again, I can do the same thing here. Let's put these points in. And then let's make sure our choices go through not just one, but both points. So there's 0, 3. Now let's put in 1, 12. And now I can systematically just start putting all these choices in until I see that it goes through both of the points that it needs to. And then raise to the x power. And notice how the first one goes right through both. Just to demonstrate, if I just change that to 4 and 3, if we kind of forgot which, that the beginning point or the y-axis goes out front, the y-intercept, and what it multiplies by goes here. Even if we forgot, notice, oh, it's going through one of the two, but see, it's not going through this point. It's going through 0, 4, not 0, 3. So it's good to know where it crosses the y-axis is the front number, 3. And then another point on it, plug in 1 for x, 3 times 4 to the first is 12. All of that should make sense. However, it's not a bad thing. In fact, it's a good thing to double check before you hit submit and just make sure you got everything the way it's supposed to be. So that should help you through Unit 6.